Hey there, Pee-wee enjoyers! I've just finished running a profit test in Trials of the Ancestors and I'm here to share my results. My sample size was 500 silver coins, I got 1 Hinokora's lock, and I was also lucky enough to get 3 +1 Proj tattoos. I ran this test on my Void Sphere Reign of Arrows Pathfinder, which I made specifically to run trials with. Link in the card if you're interested. I'll share my stashes with you and then we can jump into the spreadsheet. In raw currency, I ended up with 32 Divines, 21 Exalts, 8 Annuls, and 4 Sacred Orbs. I left the bubblegum in here as well. Most of the fusings come from selling 6 links that dropped. Where I could, I tried to avoid taking the less valuable currencies. Notable loot includes a Hinokora's Lock, an Aegis Aurora, and also 2 Warrior's Tales. I didn't include any gems that dropped that were worth less than 20 Chaos. I also got 2 Empowers and 2 Enlightens, which I have been leveling in my offhand, which is why they're level 2. I also had 3 tattoos of the Ramako Makanga, as well as an Omen of Connections. I also got a nice chunk of Scarabs and Wing Scarabs. I cut out cheap divination cards, gems, 5 links, all of that jazz. The only exception I made was to tattoos. I kept in every single tattoo that I dropped. Now let's jump into the spreadsheet. So to organize my loot, I threw together a spreadsheet that separates out the loot into tattoos, scarabs, other, and currency. In some of the tabs, I've left some notes. So for example, in the tattoos tab, I've left a note to say that I took out the Journey tattoo of the Makanui because I wanted to use them on my Impending Doom character. I paid their price into the currency tab in Divines to compensate. I also left a note to say that I didn't include the cheap gems and divination cards that I dropped. I obviously dropped quite a few of those, but I kept them out of the loot breakdown. On the currency page, I left some notes about my process. When I bought my 500 silver coins, they cost 1 chaos per, so 500 chaos at the time I bought them. Each tournament I ran was roughly 7 matches, and I was re-rolling the final tournament if I had Ahuana. I've counted each match as taking about 2.5 minutes. Often it would be a little bit less than that, but I figured it was better to be generous in terms of the time. Each tournament, roughly 17.5 minutes, so approximately 3.4 tournaments per hour. This equates out to 1,250 minutes spent on 500 silver coins, or roughly 21 hours. All of the prices here were accurate on Pee-wee Ninja when I priced it. Some things will have changed in value since. I also used individual rather than bulk prices because I didn't want to inflate the numbers. So for my currency, I ended up with 32 Divines, 5 of which were the Divines I put into the tab to pay for the Journey tattoo of the Makanui that I took out. I got 21 Exalts and 8 Annulment Orbs. I ended up with 515 Raw Chaos, and I also got 4 Sacred Orbs. The tattoos were interesting. I ended up with 3 tattoos of the Ramako Makanga. Now I think that's pretty lucky. I was expecting 1 to 2. In the time it took me to level from rank 1 to rank 2000, I only found 1 of these tattoos. So to get 3 in 500 coins, I thought was pretty good. I also did not get any of the +1 Dex gem tattoos. I ended up with 2 of the Intelligence and 2 of the Strength tattoos, but I never saw a Dex one. I also only ended up with 1 of the minus reservation tattoos, whereas when I was leveling from 0 to 2000, I got quite a few more than that, so I think I was a little unlucky with the reservation tattoos. I ended up with a nice chunk of Scarabs. All the value here is from the Wing Scarabs. The rusted, polished, and gilded didn't really add too much to the total. In terms of the other loot, Hinokora's Lock is clearly the jackpot here. It is by far the most valuable thing that I got in the entire 500 coin run. I got a couple of Enlightens and a couple of Empowers, no Enhancers. I got a few gems that were worth a little bit of currency, and I ended up with 1 Omen of Connections. In terms of value, on Pee-wee Ninja at the time I calculated this, my other loot was worth about 66.8 Divines. My Scarabs, about 5.5 Divines. Tattoos, 38.9 Divines. And the currency itself, about 39.7 Divines. When breaking down the total value of what I'd earned, I made sure I minus the cost of the 500 silver coins, and I also did 2 price breakdowns. I did one that included everything, and I also did one that didn't include Hinokora's Lock. The reason I did that is that's the big jackpot drop, and I think looking at the Divines per hour without that is quite important. So let's look at what I earned in total. 34,223 chaos, which is 148.6 divines. This works out to about 7 divines per hour and 0.29 divines per silver coin. That's pretty decent value. However, I'm a little worried that that's at the high end of what you would expect to earn from ToTA, which is why I also included the breakdown without the Hinokora's lock. So without the Hinokora's lock, the loot totaled out to 21,113 chaos, which is about 91.6 divines. That is roughly 4.3 divines per hour or 0.18 divine per silver coin. My takeaway from this is that ToTA is decent value if you enjoy the mechanic. However, the nice thing about ToTA is the only buy-in cost is your silver coins. After that, you are good to go and it is pure profit. The other nice thing I found about this is that I was doing it while I was watching stuff. So I had a movie on and I was just spamming tournaments. This makes it great if you just want to farm without having to use your brain too much because there's no cost to dying. You're not going to lose your portals. You're not going to lose your investment. It's just a silver coin. I'll include the spreadsheet in the description of the video if you want to come and have a look at it. 500 silver coins is not a big enough sample size for us to definitively break down the profit per hour. It does give us an indication that ToTA is on a similar level to some low to mid investment farming methods. Is it worth your time? Yeah, if you enjoy the mechanic. I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Now I have to go and price all the crap in that dump tab. Cheers!